visual cues. But you guys all know what you're doing. But so I'm just going to start out. I'm actually going to stand for a minute because I'm just going to talk a little bit about our focus for this week. Welcome, Erica. We have some stuff set up for you right over, well, wherever you want. But yeah, if you need the weights from over there, you can grab them. No problem. All right, so today our focus is hamstrings. So hamstrings means the back of the legs. So it's still going to be a full body workout. We'll be doing everything, but focusing particular here. So you can get tight hamstrings by doing a lot of exercise without stretching. So if you're a runner or you do a lot of Camp Gladiator or anything else without doing a lot of stretching, you might find that you have tight hamstrings. You may also have tight hamstrings if you do a lot of sitting during the day. So that might cause, the back of your legs to be tight. And also just another thing, it can just be genetic. All right. You can be born with flexible or tight hamstrings. It can have nothing to do with anything. So pretty much, sorry about that, guys. That's actually not allowed. It's a no wake zone up here. So if you may hear some people yelling at them, that happens often. All right. We just had a crazy jet skier go by. So having tight hamstrings with the purpose of stretching them, focusing on this, is tight hamstrings can actually cause a lot of lower back pain. So having tight hamstrings might cause pain in the lower back, poor posture. So if we kind of work on our hamstrings, it can help improve our posture. It can help improve lower back issues. Yeah, a little bit. Let's call someone. But basically, it just helps kind of prevent injury, and it helps with overall flexibility, kind of stretching the hamstrings, being able to do the hamstrings are connected to a lot of different things and a lot of different poses, so it just helps overall. All right, that being said, let's get started in a comfortable seat. So we'll start with our practice. And any comfortable seat is fine. Just roll your shoulders up and back a few times. Maybe roll out your head and neck. Yeah, so when the big boats or jet skis go by real fast, you guys probably notice that the top deck, it creates waves here, and all the boats start to move. And some people live on their boats, so it's really not allowed for... And sometimes if there's people who live on their boats out there, they will scream at their top of their lungs. They will report them. Very much not a peaceful experience. But we're just going to let that go for right now because it's out of our control. All right. So from here, maybe close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Start to lengthen your breath. So in yoga, one of the most popular breaths is called an Ujjayi type breath. So let's go ahead and work on lengthening your breath, and I'll kind of talk about this breath as we go. Taking long, deep inhales in through your nose. Long, deep exhales out through your nose. Just using this time before we start to kind of just let go of anything in the outer world, let go of anything on your mind, and really just focus on being present for the next hour or so. On just being here, now, exactly where you are, out in all the elements. So not wanting to change it, not wanting it to be any different, embracing it for exactly what it is. Noticing the feelings of the wind, the waves, the sound. Using your breath as a tool to come back to throughout your practice if you notice your mind starts to wander too much. And that Ujjayi style breathing is basically taking the long, deep inhales and exhales through your nose. You're making your exhales the same length as your inhales. And what makes it a little bit different is on the exhale, you're slightly constricting the back of your throat. So almost as if you were, say, blowing out of a straw, but with your mouth closed. So you might feel a little vibration in the back of your throat, or kind of even that audible sound that only you can hear in the back of your throat. This breath kind of just really helps us focus, helps us be present. And just take a moment to remind yourself of something you're grateful for, or set an intention for class. And you can slowly open up your eyes if your eyes are closed, and we're just going to start to move in circles. So it doesn't matter which direction you go in. It doesn't really matter how big of a circle. Just kind of slowly starting to find some movement of your body, whatever feels good. Still moving with your breath. So inhaling halfway through the circle, exhaling the other half of the way through the circle. We'll do one more in this direction. And then you can switch and do maybe about 4 in the other direction. All right, good. So from here, we're going to make our way into a child's pose to start with. So just coming to the center of your mat. So this is going to help keep our mats down as well. We'll try to do that with our body however we can. So take your knees apart wide, big toes together. If possible, you want to sit back towards the heels and then stretch your arms, bring the forehead down. So a more active child's pose would be straight arms, really stretching forward. But you could also make it a more relaxed child's pose by just letting your forearms relax down as well. Starting to feel that nice stretch in your lower back and your inner legs. Maybe a little bit in your hips. And just taking a few more breaths here. One more deep breath here. And then you're going to walk your hands back. Slowly make your way up. We're going to come onto our hands and knees, but we're going to set up the long way of the mat. So it doesn't matter which way you start, or which way you face. But bring one leg out to the side. Let's say maybe your right leg. And we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow pose, but we're stretching out a little bit the inner leg, the hamstring. So hands under your shoulders. From here, inhale to drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up. Good. So we're warming up our spine. Exhale to round your back, round your shoulders, chin to chest. Let's go through about 2 more of these. You won't get quite as deep in the spinal rotation, but we're also kind of focusing on the legs right now. One more round of cat-cow. All right, good. From here, we're going to come all the way up. So your knee, your foot is in line. We're going to stretch our side muscles. So whatever arm is out long, go ahead. Take that hand down to the side, to that leg that's out long. Reach the other arm across. Good. Staying there for about 3 deep breaths. All right. These are actually really good weights. So let's try that. Yeah. Up towards the front, I think, because the wind's coming this way. Yes. All right, good. And then come back through to the center. All right, we're going to take a modified side plank. So you're going to bring that hand down. Your hand, your knee, your foot are going to be in line. That top arm's going to reach up. Good. Pressing the whole pad of that foot down. Lift up through the core. Maybe look up towards your fingers. Good. And then we're going to walk our hands back through to the center, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So taking the opposite foot out long. We'll start out with a few rounds of cat-cow pose to start with. So on your inhales, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up. And then on your exhales, round. Good. Doing this about 3 or 4 times. I'm going to grab another weight for you. Let's see. All right. And then from here, you can make your way all the way up onto your knees. Whatever leg's out long, take that hand down that leg, stretch up and over to the side. So stretching out the obliques is also a really important thing to stretch, especially if you do a lot of sitting during the day. That area can get really tight. So really reach over to the side. Good. All right. And then we're going to take that hand back down so your hand, knee, your foot is in line. Lift up through the hip and then reach that arm up for a side plank variation. Good. Good. And then you can take your hands back down. All right. We're just going to come to face the front of the mat. We're going to spread out our fingers to really ground through our hands, protect the wrists. So it's important. Tuck our toes, and we're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. So lift those hips up and back and just kind of stretch it out a little bit to start out with. So knee, heel, toeing the feet a few times. So dropping one heel down, bend, straightening that leg, bending the other knee. Kind of relax your head and neck here, so your chin's towards your chest. Now this is, down dog is a good stretch for a lot of your whole body, but you should definitely feel it in your hamstrings and the backs of your legs. It's a great hamstring stretch. You can have a little bend in the knees, especially if the hamstrings are tight. For me, my hamstrings are very tight, so I like to keep a little bend in the knees. And you're still working towards bringing the heels down towards the mat. From here, let's take one more deep breath. And then we'll walk our feet up to our hands, ragdoll forward fold. So this is also a really great hamstring stretch. We're going to keep a nice bend in the knees here. You want to try to bring your stomach towards your upper thighs. Maybe grab the elbows, and you want to try to relax. You want to just let yourself hang here in the pose. Let gravity do the work right now. So shake your head yes and no just to make sure it's relaxed. Maybe just sway a little bit side to side. Spread out the toes. Make sure you're really grounding through the feet as well. And to go deeper in the pose, you're going to think lift up through the hips, maybe send your body weight a little bit forward. When we hold the poses longer, we can be a little bit more relaxed in the poses. From here, we're going to come to a half lift. So you're going to straighten your legs, take your hands to your shins, draw your shoulder blades back. Good. And then exhale, fold forward, this time deeper. So you want just a micro bend in the knees. Bring your fingertips down towards your toes. Good. Lifting up through the hips, bring your head down. And then on your next inhale, either reach your arms out to the side or forward. Either way is fine. You just want to extend through the arms. Sometimes it just depends on how much space you have. Reach up nice and tall. Good. Extended mountain pose. From here, interlace your hands together, point your fingers up, and we're going to do that side stretch again. So stretch up and over to your right side to start with. Good. Back through to the center, up and over to the other side. Good. Back through to the center. From here, we're going to come to cactus arms, so opening up the chest, squeeze the shoulders together in the back. So this is a really good posture for countering all the rounding we do with our spine. It's kind of opening it up. Good. Okay, and then from here you can release. So we're going to move through a sun salutation just to warm up our whole body. So we'll step towards the front of our mat. And let's inhale, reach our arms up, lengthen through your spine. Good. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward. From here, coming to a half lift, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale to bend your knees, plant your hands. We're going to step back to a plank, and let's hold this plank for a few breaths, drawing the shoulders apart, lifting up through the hips. So nice and strong here. We're going to lower down to our stomach, but option to come down to your knees. Okay, if you have strong arms, you might not have to, but it's like a reverse push-up, coming all the way to your stomach, cobra pose, draw your shoulder blades away from your ear, lift up your head, neck, and chest. Good. Exhale, come back down, and we're going to press through to a tabletop, back into downward facing dog, resetting in down dog for about 3 to 5 breaths. So just come back to your breath. So just reminding yourself that breath we did at the very beginning of class. And then from here, bend your knees a lot. Look up to your hands and step your feet up to your hands. Coming into a half lift here. Inhale. Good. Exhale, fold forward deeper. And then next inhale. Lengthen through your arms. Come all the way up. Reach up. This time, if you want, either just hold the extended mountain pose, or you can reach back for a little bit of a back bend if that feels good, looking up to the sky, looking behind you maybe. And then you can slowly make your way up, bring your hands to your heart center. Good. All right, from here we're gonna come into chair pose. So feet close together, sit back, bend the knees. You're gonna keep the chest lifted. We can start out hands to our heart center. And then from here, reach the arms up, draw the shoulders back. Good. Take a few deep breaths here. Go ahead. If you need to fix your mat, take the time. Fix your mats, yes. It's windy. All right. From here, we're going to fold forward. No problem. Half lift. Inhale. We're moving through vinyasa again. So bend your knees. Plant your hands coming back to a plank. Let's pause on this plank. Draw the shoulders apart. Lift up through your core. So option to come all the way down to your stomach again for a cobra pose, just like we did before. Or you could come to an up dog, which is just lowering down halfway, keeping the straight arms and only the tops of your feet on the mat. This is a deeper back bend. Draw the shoulders back in either one. Good. And then make your way back into downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to add on. So make sure those fingers are spread apart, nice and stable. And you're going to reach that right leg up to a 3-legged down dog. So you want to straighten the foot, flex that back foot, reach the heel up. You kind of want to think square the hip. So right hip down, left hip back. Deep breath. Feel that nice extension through that leg. And then you're going to bring that right knee high to the chest. Bring that right foot as far through as it will come. If it just comes halfway, grab the ankle, bring it all the way up to the hand. Good. We're going to set it for warrior 2 here. So spin your back heel down. Make sure your front heel is in the middle of that back foot. And then take your time to make your way up. So find your balance. So take one hand to that knee, then the other. And we're going to open up out to the side. So I'm just going to turn to face you guys. Yeah, perfect. So you want to, your hips are square to the long edge. Your shoulders are relaxed. And we tend to in warrior 2 because we're reaching forward. We tend to kind of lean forward, but you want to just keep your torso in the middle. Arms out long. Good. And then in yoga, for each pose, there's kind of a certain area, point you're supposed to keep your eyes on. So for warrior 2, it's supposed to be your right fingers or your front fingers to help you focus. Very good. Deep breath. You want to think, squeeze those inner thighs towards each other. Good. From here, go ahead and you're going to take your hands to your hips. square our hips to the front. We're going to set up for warrior one. So warrior one, hips are square towards the front. Reach the arms up tall. Good. Nice strong core to stay balanced. You can always straighten that front knee, but then work towards getting a nice bend in that front knee. And then from here, take your hands, interlace them behind your back. Draw the shoulders down and back. Very good. Sitting up nice and tall, deep breath. We're going to start to make our way forward. So we're going to bring our chest inside that knee. Relax your head and neck, chins down. Maybe lift the arms up. So this is called humble warrior, if possible. You should start to feel it a little bit more in that front hamstring. Deep breath. And then you can take your hands back down to the lower back. They're going to frame that front foot. And we're just going to step back to a down dog. So just coming back into downward facing dog. 1 or 2 breaths. Great job. Setting up for the same thing on the other side. So from here, you can lift your left leg up, starting with 3-legged down dog. Reach it up nice and high. Stretch it out. Flex that foot. Heels up towards the sky. Still pressing your chest towards your upper thighs. Deep breath. And then bring that left knee in high to the chest. Left foot as far through as you can. If it doesn't make it all the way up to your hands, grab that ankle, bring it up. Spin the back heel down. And take your time to set up. If you need to come onto your knees and set up. You want to check that front heel's about in the middle of the back foot. Take one hand to the knee. Yeah, find your balance first and then make your way up. So extra challenge today for the core with the wind. But we can do it. So draw the shoulders back. Gaze is focused towards the fingers. Really working those inner legs. So think squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Kind of squeezing that mat in towards each other. Deep breath. Good. We'll take our hands to our hips. Square your hips towards that front knee. And then reach your arms up. Good. Warrior one. Pressing through the pinky edge side of that back toe if it wants to flip up. So pressing through the pads of both feet equally. Good job. It is harder out here. That's okay. And then from here, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back, draw the shoulders down and back. When you're ready, we're going to slowly make our way forward. So bring your chest inside that knee. Relax the head and neck. Lift the arms up off of the lower back if possible. Starting to really feel that stretch in the hamstring muscles. And then you can take your hands back to your lower back. Take your hands to either side of that front foot. Step back to, actually this time we're going to step forward. Let's step forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward again. And then next inhale, come all the way up. Lengthen through your spine. All right, exhale, hands to your heart center. So one of the best hamstring stretches is just a simple forward fold. So we're going to use our peace finger, so pointer finger and middle finger to get a little bit deeper in our forward fold. So feet about hips distance apart. We're going to hinge from our hips and then bend your knees as much as you need to. Take the peace fingers around your big toes. From here, you're going to lift up through the hips, work towards straightening the knees. So you can keep a big bend in the knees if you have tight hamstrings. That's totally fine. But you're working towards maybe getting deeper, straightening them a little bit more. If your legs are totally straight, you just want to bring the elbows out to the side, stomach down towards your upper thighs to get deeper. Send your body weight just a little bit forward because we tend to sit back on the heels. Keep thinking to lift the hips up, getting deeper into that hamstring stretch. Good. And then from here, you can release. Your big toes will come to a half lift, so just come up halfway. Good. Fold forward a little bit more, and then make your way all the way up. Extended mountain pose. All right. Hands to heart center. From here, we're going to find our straps. So we're going to do our first pose with our strap. It's going to be fun because it's windy, and it's a balance pose. Do you have something like a strap? And we're going to use this a few other times. If you're on the top deck, go ahead and use the rail to hold on to. If you're near there, you can use that to hold on to. You guys can hold on to something nearby. Sorry, you guys don't have anything. All right, so 2 options. All right, if this strap totally doesn't work, that's fine. So option without the strap, I'll show you first, is you're going to ground through one foot. We'll take one hand to that knee, hold it here, so just balancing on one foot, and then bring the knee out. That might be what we do. I don't know. But we're going to try to bring that strap around the foot, working towards, I can start down low, but we're working towards bringing it up. Yes. Good. Throwing the shoulders back, sitting up tall. Take your time if possible. Yeah, and same thing with the towel. I mean, it's a little harder with the towel, but just trying your best. Maybe keeping one hand on that white box there, or the other one maybe can help. Something like this. Yeah. So you should start to feel this in your hamstrings. Nice hamstring stretch here. And then we're going to open the hip out to the side. So just trying it. Good job. Good job, ladies. If you come out, just come back in. That's what balance is all about. All right. We're going to take that leg in front of us, release your towel or your strap. We're going to bring that foot as high as we can with a straight leg. This is all mostly hamstring strength here. Doesn't matter how high it is, but take it down lower if you're having trouble with balance. And we're going to be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's roll out the ankle. Shake it out. So if we were not using the strap, it would look something like this. So the strap is just to kind of help us get to this pose, and it's the hamstring stretch. All right. The strap is how you kind of work towards getting there. So if you want to do that one instead, you can. All right, let's try the other side. Ground through the other foot. Just make sure you switch sides. If you have like a lot of stuff on the end, you might want to just like roll the end. That might help a little bit. Maybe starting out low, work towards lifting it up higher. Good. Deep breath. So trying to keep your gaze focused on something in front of you, even something in front of you on the ground. Being grounded will help with your balance. And then when you're ready, opening the hip out to the side. Maybe. I know. I think we're just like playing around here. I don't know. We're all trying. You guys look good? Eva, you're doing awesome. Now that I said it, you can't hold it. I know. All right, we're going to release the towel, the strap. That's perfect. You should just put your legs on the bar. All right, so flex the foot as high as you can in front of you. This is using a hamstring strength instead of flexibility to keep it up there for 5, 4, 3, 1, release. All right. I love it. Shake it out. All right. Just set your strap somewhere. We'll use it again in a little bit. All right. Let's make our way down. We're going to spend the rest of class kind of lower on the mat. All right. So we're going to come to actually a low lunge to start with. So you can come to hands and knees first. Yeah. And we're going to take that right foot forward. If you need to, we're not going to be here super long, but if you want a little extra padding for that back knee, you can put the towel there. But like I said, we won't be here super long. In this pose, you want to check your front ankles right above your knees above your ankle, and you want to make sure you have a long space between your front knee and your back front ankle, your back knee. And you guys all look perfect. All right, let's just stay here for about 5 deep breaths, feeling that nice stretch. So starting to activate the hamstring, but also the hips, inner leg. And then from here, we're going to come to half splits pose. So walking the hands back. So your hands are walking back so they're closer to being more like underneath the hips, and you're working towards straightening that front knee. So if your hamstrings are tight, it might not be straight. So option, you can keep the hips up high over the knee. That's probably going to be a little bit deeper stretch, but if it is more, it feels better for you to sit down a little bit more, you can, but it's going to probably be a deeper stretch for your hamstring to have your hips up high. Bring your forehead down towards that front knee. Like I said, it's fine to have a bend in your knee. If you're tight, you're just working towards hitting it a little bit deeper. All right, we're going to make our way forward. I got a little splash from that one. And we're just going to switch sides. So just come back to your hands and knees. Just stretch it out. Do a few hip circles. Just kind of work out any kinks. And then when you're ready, we'll set up for the other side. All right, so taking your time to set up for the other side. So checking again that your front knee's over top of the ankle. Maybe see if that back knee can go back a little bit further. Oh! I'm going to forget some hands. It was too slippery for me to, yeah. So sometimes we do find dead fish up here. And then we'll work our way to half splits pose. So they're the jumping carp, right? That's what they are. So the carp, look at mullet. Okay, the mullet. I always get them confused, yeah. They jump. Sometimes they jump up here. They've never jumped on their paddleboards before. Like, I know it's going to happen. It's going to come on someone's paddleboard. It hasn't happened yet, though. One more deep breath. And then we'll make our way out of the pose, just kind of stretching out that leg, maybe doing a few hip circles. And then we'll come to a seat, grab a drink of water. If you brought water, we're going to find our straps. We're going to set up for a seated forward fold using the straps. All right, so this one's easy. No, that one's here. And by sitting long, we're keeping our mats down. All right. All we're doing is putting the mats around our feet. And we're just going to start out. We're not even going to fold forward. We're just going to start out sitting up nice and straight. So drawing the shoulder blades back, sitting up nice and tall, and straightening your spine. Good. So by flexing the feet right here with the strap, it really engages the whole leg and it engages through the hamstring. So that's one of the advantages. From here, we're going to start out, keep your back straight, so keep your chest lifted and hinge from your hips. So you're going to come forward, even if it's just a tiny little bit. Keep thinking chest stays lifted, using that strap to kind of help you come forward a little bit with the straight back. Getting a little bit deeper, really feeling it in the hamstring. Let's take a few nice deep breaths. And then from here, see if you can come forward a little bit deeper. So if you want, you can kind of round the shoulders here, round the back a little bit more. If you don't need the strap, you can let go of the strap, maybe reach for your feet. But the strap helps us sometimes in this pose. We tend to kind of like round our back and round our shoulders, reach our arms, and that means we're stretching more of the shoulders and the back. When we start out by keeping everything straight, we make sure that we're stretching the hamstring muscle a little bit more. And then once you're kind of there in the pose, then you can relax a little bit more. Let's take one or two more deep breaths here. And then you can walk your hands back. All right, so we're just going to do a counter stretch. So you can just take your straps to the side. So our counter stretch for a forward fold is a reverse tabletop. So you'll bend your knees, take your hands behind you, fingers facing you, lift the hips up. Maybe allow your head to drop back. About 5 deep breaths. Good, and then you can slowly lower back down. From here, we're just going to do a seated twist. So take your left leg out long. We're going to cross our right foot on top. Try to press the whole pad of that foot down. In our twist, we want to sit up nice and tall. So lengthen through your spine. Flexing that foot will help engage through the whole leg. Take your right hand back. So your right knee's on top, right hand back. Reach the left arm up. Inhale. And then exhale, you're going to bring the elbow above the knee or just kind of hook the elbow around the knee. Either way is fine. But as you twist, you want to think of lifting your stomach up and over those upper thighs. So twisting through the upper body. Yeah. So you were doing it right the first time, so it's okay. They're the same way out there too. All right, so let's come back through to the center. Take a counter twist. So just one breath, just a counter stretch, just in the other direction, whatever feels good. And then we'll switch sides. So the twisting, it should feel really good for your spine. So let's take the other leg out long, cross that other foot on top. You want to press the whole pad of that foot down. Maybe flex the foot that's out long to really engage it. Sit up nice and tall. Left hand behind your back. Reach up with your right arm or whatever. You want to think opposite arm to opposite knee. So it doesn't matter which side you're on. Opposite arm to opposite knee as you look over your shoulder. All right, we're going to come back through to the center, counter stretch, counter twist. All right, so our last seated pose is going to be a reverse plank. And reverse plank is actually mostly hamstring strength. So I'll kind of, if you want to just watch. So what a lot of people tend to do, and because it's really hard, is you come up, see how my feet are like this? That's not really, that's like level 1. Level 2 is to try to press the feet down, and that activates your hamstring muscles. Maybe drop the head back. All right, so it's very hard. It doesn't. So let's go ahead and try it. First, just lift the hips up. You can start out here, but you're going to work towards pressing the feet down. Super hard. Good. Keep the hips up high. Maybe drop the head back. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Great job. Awesome. Roll out your ankles a few times, right? All right, we're going to finish on our backs with our straps. So stretching and getting a nice deep hamstring stretch. So just make your way on your back. Straps can be by your side. Just hug your knees in towards the chest to start with. And you can either rock side to side or do a few little circles. And then we'll place both feet on the mat and take your strap and place it around your right foot. So you're just going to bring that right foot up towards the ceiling. Your left knee, option to keep that left foot bent. And that might feel nice for your lower back. Or you can straighten the left leg if you kind of want a little bit more of that stretch or that extension. As you're pulling the strap towards you, you want to make sure you're not trying to pull it as hard as you can towards you. You want to find that space where you're feeling a good stretch, but you're not forcing it. We're going to hold it a little bit longer here. So just kind of allow gravity to do the work as you're pulling it back towards you. And just staying here, but noticing if you're a little bit farther than you were at the beginning. From here, you're going to take the strap in your right hand, and you're going to open your hip up and over to the right side. So opening out to the side. Maybe your left hand can come down by the side as well, just kind of as a counter stretch to kind of keep your body down. And then you can bring your foot back up through to the center, and you're going to reach for the strap or the towel in the opposite arm, and you're going to bring it across your body. So when you bring it across your body, just start out by bringing it across just a tiny little bit. And it's going to stretch just I don't know, this area along your leg here. So you can either, if that feels good, keep it there, but if you prefer more of a twist, you can bring that foot up and over to the other side. So it's kind of your choice, whichever stretch feels better for you. Good, and then you can bring the leg back up through to the center, bend your knee, and just hug that knee in towards your chest. From here, we're gonna release the strap and reach your arms up overhead, straighten your legs, just kind of stretch it out nice and long. And then we'll bend both knees again and set up for the other side. So taking the strap, we're going to place it around our left foot. Bringing the left foot up towards the sky. Maybe you'll keep that right knee bent if you want. You can keep that right foot on the mat, or if you'd like to straighten it, you can do that. Pulling the strap towards you, trying to find that spot where you're feeling a good stretch. You're being active, but you're not yanking it. You're not pulling it as hard as you can. Just kind of noticing how this side feels compared to the other side. Just really settling in. We're going to be here for about 1 more minute. And then we're going to open up our hip to the left side. So you can take the strap over to in your left hand and just start to bring that leg up and over to the side, opening up the hip. Maybe the other arm comes out to the side, kind of like a counterbalance. And then you can bring that leg back up through to the center, and we're going to bring it in the other direction. So maybe reaching for the strap with the other hand, maybe just starting out a little bit, maybe like the short angle, and then if you like to bring it up and over further, you can do that. then bring your leg back up through to the center, bend your knee. You can release your strap. Just hug that knee in towards your chest. And then we're going to stretch it out long one more time, reaching your arms up overhead, straightening your legs. Good. And then from here, we'll bring our knees in towards our chest again. This time, bring your forehead up towards your knees so you're curling into tight little ball. Make yourself nice and tight. And then we're going to release and relax into our Shavasana, so a final relaxation pose. So if you want, you can let the legs out long, feet just naturally open up out to the side. Maybe your hands out to the side. Try to get kind of any last minute movements, any last minute fidgeting out of the way so that you can come to a place of stillness for the last few moments of class. Scanning your body and just kind of noticing if you have tension anywhere in particular in your body. Consciously allowing that part of your body to release, to relax, and just let go. So in yoga, it's important to be able to move and be active and stretch and find your edge, but it's also important to be able to just let go, find that stillness, release, and just be. So allow yourself to just be. And then from here, go ahead and take a nice deep inhale in through your nose. Complete exhale. And then one more time, inhale. And exhale. And then start to maybe roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists a few times. Starting to bring some movement back to your body. You can bend your knees. Reach your arms up overhead, stretch it out, just reawakening your body. Take your time, rolling onto one side, pausing there for maybe 2 to 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, you can make your way all the way up to a seat. Mhm. All right, very good. So we'll finish by bringing our hands to our heart center. We'll take one more deep inhale, reaching our arms out and up. Exhale to bring your hands back to your heart center. Just take a moment to kind of just pause and reflect on your practice. Thank yourself for coming out, maybe doing something different, something good for your body, for your mind. Embracing the conditions, the windiness. I like to kind of use it as a time to remind myself that no matter of the conditions in that outside world, we can still kind of find that inner peace and that inner strength within, even when it seems to be crazy around us. Because we can't control how it is around us, we just need to embrace it and find that peace within ourselves. So thank you guys for joining me this evening. Namaste. All right, great job. All right.